What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content daily. We also stream over on Twitch at This Is Aftersound, so come by and say hello. All right, beep, beep, boop, boop. I'm a bot. That's just what it is. I'm looking here at the Peak Monsters battle chain, and guess what? But I have very bot-like behavior. So there's so much drama in the SPL. It's kind of hard being Snoop D or Double G. That doesn't really rhyme. And by SPL, I mean Splinterlands Pretoria. Ooh, that worked out. Okay. So over this past weekend, if you missed it, there's been quite a stir, both in the Maverick chat and I feel like in some of the third-party sports with Zen Sports, and there's been a lot of talk about bots and win trading. And I'm here to tell you that one, I am a bot, and two, I don't have a dog in this fight, and I think that there has already been so much said about it that I don't want to give an opinion out because there's a lot of misinformation. That's actually the point of what my video is trying to be. So I'm not here to call out any specific people or accounts or situations. It's just, it's at the end of the day, Cryptomancer in the Maverick chat said that the team is going to look into this, and I trust that they will hopefully find some kind of solution. Now, will they deliver the solution that everybody wants and in a timely manner that everybody is requesting? Probably not. If you look at past indicators for like the leaderboard issue, that came a season too late in my opinion. But the team is looking into it, and that's all we have to go with for now. So I'm going to trust that they are going to take an objective look at this and hopefully find a way forward to reduce any kind of exploits that are happening. I lied. I do want to call out two people. The first is Ashley, who put that interview together. And again, I'm not saying whether people were win trading in that interview where she interviewed the Japanese players. I'm actually just trying to give some kudos to Ashley because I think it's great that we have content creators that can dig into, the tough topics and really show hopefully both sides of an argument here or both sides of a debate. So Ashley, great job with that. The second person is Gank, who Gank is the one who really stirred things up in the Maverick chat. Yesterday morning, I was literally laying in bed, and it took me so long. I think I laid in bed for like an hour just trying to read through everything that was happening in the Mav chat. Now, here's what I'll say about Gank, and I'm not even going to get into that whole situation. It did lead to Cryptomancer saying that they wanted to look into it, so it's a positive resolution in my opinion. When it comes to Gank, I don't always agree with Gank's approach or his methodology. And I'll admit that I do sometimes think Gank jumps the gun or is a little overly aggressive in certain areas. But I would never accuse Gank of FUD, and I will fight anybody who does. I think Gank has shown an incredible passion for this game, for this project, and wanting to take it to the highest levels that it can be. And that's a hill I'll die on. So, I think Gank has an important voice in the community for calling out things and not shying away from the tough topics. So when I saw people kind of throwing the FUD label, which is it's so annoying because it's just, people are just like, oh, you are saying something negative like FUD. No, we need to be able to have critical conversations here and critical feedback for issues that we see in the game. And so I appreciate the voice that he has in the community, and I'm glad that he's able to bring things up. Like I said, whether or not I agree, I think it's important that we allow these voices to come through. And when it comes specifically to Gank, yeah, I would never, like I said, accuse him of FUD. And if you think he's FUDding, like I said, I will fight you on that. Okay, so moving forward from that, what has everybody been looking at in terms of the, I guess, evidence, quote unquote, that we've been using for, not we, but people have been using for this whole win trading thing? It's the Peak Monsters battle chain. So if you go to your Peak Monsters account, you can come through here and check out my battle chain. So I wanted to do that for myself because I wanted to see just how much of a bot I am. And apparently I'm a huge bot. Look at this. There's only like 2 battles here out of the 21 that it pulled. And all these other ones, there's no team. Some of them I won, some of them I lost. Granted, this is from like a month ago. But to me, what this has done is I feel like uncharacteristically shown, or it's it's skewed in a way where it's pulling in so much wrong data. Now, if people are pulling in, I know that this isn't the only point of evidence that people are pulling in. Some people are digging further into the data, and that's great. All I'm trying to say is that if you have come to a conclusion or seen another video or seen anything that has used the Peak Monsters battle chain data, I just want to implore you to not jump to the quickest conclusion, because even for someone like me, and yes, I was joking earlier that I'm a bot. I have never had a bot. I've never run a bot account in my entire Splinterlands career. I'm not against bots. My reason for not running a bot is I have two reasons. One, I'm lazy, and two, I feel like I missed the boat. If I was going to run a bot, I probably would have done it, or I probably should have done it, I should say, back in October of last year when DEC was 1.5 cents, and we were printing like tons and tons of DEC. Could have farmed a lot of rewards then, but at this point in time, it doesn't seem worth it. Plus, sorry, I lied. I have a third reason. The third reason is I think it's a losing battle, right? I think the team will always be looking to squash out any kind of exploits, and at the end of the day, that's what bots are. That's not what bots are. That's what bots do best. They exploit areas or take advantage of areas that they can, and tend to make them a lot worse. I mean, like, what's the point of running a bot? I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that a bot can run 24/7 while I go and live my life, right? So I'm trying to leverage that in a way where this bot can go and farm rewards and play games and earn me cards and DEC. So again, I'm bot neutral, as the team is bot neutral. I don't know what the team's plan moving forward is, but that's kind of what I wanted to get into with the second half of this video, I should say, is with the upcoming solutions. Is win trading going to be something that will be a thing of the past? And from my perspective, I think the unfortunate view that I have right now is that no, it won't be. So I know that I recorded a video or put out a video just recently talking about how bots will obviously be earning less potentially, and there'll be more earnings to go around just due to the fact that I was looking at the summoners and saying that there's not enough summoners for all of the current accounts to have one in the starter deck, right? And so that could be the case, but bots can still earn by owning other cards. Or if you go with the whole assumption that win trading is happening, you could have bots be playing accounts, right? Because like at this point, the marginal cost of running a bot is probably close to zero, just due to the fact that you've already paid for the spell book, you've already paid for whatever. So now it's just, the bots are running. So even if the bots have zero collection power and will not be earning anything, they could still technically throw matches, right? So they could still rank up, get into high bronze, maybe even silver if they have enough CP. I mean, their earnings would be insignificant at that point. But if the fear is that win trading is happening and that some of these accounts have been taking advantage of that, that unfortunately is not going to go away. And I think that it's important that, at least I was recognizing that and wanted to share that with you guys. And that I think the team recognizes that if this is something that they're going to start tackling as, an exploit that is worth spending time and energy to remove from the game. So with that being said, part of me was looking at this and saying like, part of the criticism on the team, which I'll agree with to a certain extent, has been the fact that releases have been slow, responses to exploits have been slow. And I do wonder if, outside of the fact that they have been onboarding a lot of people and really just getting their legs under them once Hardpoint joined last year and dealing with the growth and scale of, everything that's happened over the past 6-7 months, if part of their plan was to maybe address a lot of these overarching bot issues with this upcoming rewards update, right? So because the rewards update is going to disincentivize a lot of bot owners, at least that's my opinion of it. And here's the thing, I shouldn't even say it like that because the action is actually bot neutral. It's not disincentivizing bots, it's incentivizing card ownership. And the fact that we have more bot accounts or more daily active user accounts than the amount of summoners available is completely in line with, the idea that many bot accounts will no longer be able to operate at 100% efficiency. And again, I keep saying bot accounts, but many accounts, I should say, will not be able to operate at 100% efficiency, because you could be new to the game. And if you don't own a summoner and you have to play that summoner in whatever the rule set is, then you're not going to get paid DEC for that summoner as of what we know right now. But again, this goes back to how does win trading go into this. And now the other aspect that is coming out, not as part of the ranked rewards release, but as the I guess it was a release that should have been put in last week, but will hopefully be coming soon, is hiding your opponent's name. Now, the counter argument to this is that people, or bots, I should say, will still be able to figure out who they are playing against, and therefore potentially allow win trading. So if that is not the solution that it needs to be for win trading, then, this is something that I'm glad the team will be taking a closer look at, because, as it stands right now, this whole, hiding your opponent's, or the anonymity of your opponent until you get to the battle stage, was a way to address the win trading claims, right, and the exploits there. But if that will not be enough, then I think it's important that the team really take a closer look to address this, because this has become a very hot topic in the community. And one of the things that I don't necessarily like seeing is the guilty until proven innocent type of mentality. At the end of the day, what I have appreciated about what the team has always done is that it's not about banning accounts or sending out accusations or even punishing players, right? It's actually an approach that I appreciate so much by the team, where it's just like, if somebody's taking advantage of the game or doing something, it's not their fault. It's our fault, like, as the team, for allowing this, and we need to find a way to do it so that we are not heavy-handedly cracking down on accounts, whether they're bot or human, but finding a way to make it so that they are no longer incentivized to do that anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not a them problem, it's an us problem. Like, if they're doing that, it's because they found a flaw in our system, a chink in our armor, and we need to go back and fix it and address it. And so, I again, part of that comes back down to, I love that, but I just hope that can be done in a timely manner. And with everything else that is going on with the nodes, with Wild and Modern, with SPS validators, all this stuff that's happening, I hope that they will have the time to go through and address this. Now, actually, I lied. I'm going to call out one more person. And again, these are all kudos. I'm not trying to call anybody negatively. But I was watching Tales from the Cryptomancer's video, and if you're not following Tales from the Cryptomancer, make sure you sub. Great content creator as well. But one of the ideas that he had, and I'm crediting it to him because that's where I heard it. But if somebody else mentioned it earlier, sorry, I'm not trying to do anything offensive by that. I just heard it from Tales from the Cryptomancer. The idea of having like a, what did he call it? Like chief security officer, or for me, I was just like, maybe like a chief exploit officer. Oh, I guess there's still CEO, but some type of like exploit expert, where you just have somebody who's looking through a lot of these issues, like really trying to find the holes in the system where things could be exploited and taken advantage of from a game economy standpoint or from a security standpoint. I guess that those are both, solid ways to look at it. But obviously with the exploits that we've had, and like, for example, the leaderboard thing, I cannot believe that it took that long for it to get called out. Now, I've never competed for leaderboards, so maybe that's part of, why it took so long, is because many players like myself don't even look that high or never even check the leaderboards because I'm not competitive enough for it. But for the, for that to take as long as it did to, one, be recognized, and then two, obviously the team tried to act on it as quickly as possible. It's things like that I would hope that there will be, if not now or soon, at some point in the future, somebody on the team that can be monitoring the situation within the game economy and then acting on it, right? Because it's not just enough to acknowledge the problem. Then the hard work starts. You actually need to go and figure out like the coding, like, okay, we have to figure out the logic, like how do we fix this? And then how do we implement the coding to make it so that people can no longer take advantage of that? So if there is hopefully somebody dedicated to that in the future, maybe even a team, I think that's something that was a great suggestion. But, this is where we're at right now, growing pains with the game. Like I said, for me, I appreciate all the people that are investigating the issues that exist within the current economy and community, and I'm glad that they're bringing them to light. I don't necessarily agree with how it's being done certain times, and I've voiced that in certain comments and here and there. But at the end of the day, it's what it what it says to me, what it shows to me is the fact that people are passionate about this game. And that's kind of like the silver lining that I can take away from any situation is just if people didn't care about this game, they'd be indifferent to it and it would just be whatever. But people care about the future of what this is. And obviously, everybody has an incentive to care because we are, there's a lot of financial incentive in there for a lot of us. But I think for many, and, I'll put myself out there, but I don't want to speak for everyone, but I'm sure it's a significant amount of people. It goes beyond the financial incentive. I think we all feel, or at least I feel like I'm part of something special here and what's growing. The community has been fantastic, and to watch the team really put together something great has been phenomenal. So again, it's more so just about feeling like I'm part of a movement, and to see other people who are as passionate as I am, even if their opinions differ from mine. I appreciate the passion, dedication shown. The only thing I would say again, and this is me talking just from my own perspective, is I hope that we can take a innocent until proven guilty approach more often, and I hope that actions aren't taken that are so heavy-handed before you have any kind of full evidence out there. So again, I'm not trying to refer to any specific situation, although I'm sure people will try to tie certain things in. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree. At the end of the day, whoever's been doing whatever they've been doing, like, that's on them, and they have the right to do whatever they've been doing. If it's an exploit, then yes, it should be called out. And hopefully the team is now aware of this and is looking further into it. And more importantly, will have the resources, if they are to find significant areas of exploit, that they'll be able to address this as quickly as possible. So that's all I have in this video for you today. Just trying to share a little bit of what I've seen in terms of, or wanted to share the whole battle chain thing. And poor Peak Monsters, poor Jarvie for getting thrown under the bus like this. It's not on them to have the most up-to-date data. And at the end of the day, I feel like the team is going to have the most up-to-date data. So this being thrown out and then being called out has been not good for Peak Monsters. So I feel bad about that. But like I said, at the end of the day, let's just hope that the team can use the back end data that they have available to them and come to the best conclusion and resolution for this. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game. Take care.